Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As you will find out for yourselves, with the new Passat, we have really succeeded in developing a first-class passenger car ready to be launched in the US market on March 1 this year. It is our Passat, the sedan and the wagon, which will be competing in the largest segment of the market as a true family car with European personality and affordable value, and it comes with Fahrvergnügen. The new Passat is characterized by superiority in technology and design, new standards for the feeling of space in a car, and new standards also in driving characteristic, in functionality and technical perfection. These features are the foundation for the Passat's success as a Volkswagen volume model in the market for the 1990s. We are enthusiastic about the new Passat, and we want you to be filled with enthusiasm too, so that you communicate it together with the appropriate product knowledge to our customers and prospects. It is decisive that our customers learn about all this, and indeed fast, convincingly, and comprehensively. There is only one way to do that: a test drive in the new Passat. You, the technicians, are very important in assuring customer satisfaction by fixing it right the first time. We are depending on you. This first video of our enhanced in-dealership training program will inform you about new technical aspects of the Passat at your dealership, as well as let you discover what makes this family car, the new Passat, so special. So, good luck to all of you.
Today we're going to talk about the VW Passat. This is a new car for Volkswagen, one that has many new interesting technical features, some of which you may already be familiar with from the VW Corrado. As Mr. Hungelin said earlier, this is our first edition of in-dealership training, our interactive Tech Talk video program. The program consists of 4 elements. The elements are a Tech Talk video, a leader's guide, some student workbooks, and a Tech Talk information card. In this program, we're going to introduce you to the new Passat by explaining the new systems and components the Passat comes equipped with, and how these parts that make up these systems work and where they're located. The systems we will cover are 4-speed automatic transmission, anti-lock braking system, VAG 1551 diagnostic connectors, the automatic shoulder belt system, the air conditioning system, cruise control, power windows, and door locks. For more information on how these systems and components operate, there are 3 service training booklets you can read. The titles are The New VW Passat, The Volkswagen 4-Speed Automatic Transmission, and 1990 Model Change Information. The Passat comes equipped with a new 2-liter 16-valve engine with CISE Motronic. This new engine management system is covered in another Tech Talk video, so we won't cover this in this film. Many Passats will use the new 4-speed automatic transmission. This transmission has a separate oil filter that should be changed every 30,000 miles. The level of ATF can be checked using the dipstick when the transmission is warm and the vehicle level. Like on other transmissions, if you have to add fluid, only use ATF with Dexron. To check the level of the final drive fluid, disconnect the speedometer and remove the speedometer drive on the transmission. A dipstick for checking the level of the final drive fluid is built in. The 4-speed automatic transmission is electronically controlled by a control unit that is located here under the rear seat. The control unit switches the solenoids inside the transmission to determine which gear the transmission is operated in and when that gear is selected. The transmission control unit also operates a couple other things that you need to be aware of. The automatic transmission control unit operates the shift lock solenoid, which is located at the base of the shift lever. This solenoid prevents the driver from shifting into gear from park or neutral without first stepping on the brake pedal. The transmission control unit also operates a double relay, which turns on the backup lights and controls the starter lockout function. This relay, which is located here above the fuse relay panel, is used to turn the backup lights on whenever the transmission is in reverse. It also prevents the starter from being operated when the transmission is not in park or neutral. This information on selector lever position comes from the multifunction switch that is located here on the back of the transmission. An anti-lock braking system is optional on the new Passat. This system is the same that's used on other VW models. The hydraulic unit, which includes the master cylinder and the fluid reservoir, is located here. The control unit for this system is also located here under the rear seat. The control unit receives a speed signal from each wheel. The connectors for the rear wheel speed sensors are located here under the rear seat. The connectors for the front wheel speed sensors are located here next to the front strut towers. The ABS and two other systems can be tested with the VAG 1551 diagnostic tester. These three systems are the CISE Motronic engine management system, the 4-speed automatic transmission, and the anti-lock braking system. The connectors for testing these systems are located here under the center console. The black connector supplies the power and ground for the tester. The remaining connectors are used for the various systems. The white connector here is for the CISE Motronic system. Once the black connector from the tester is attached, we can take the white connector from the tester and attach it to the white connector in the center console. The blue connector is not used. The CISE Motronic system should only be tested using the VAG 1551 in the rapid data mode. With the tester connected, push 1 to select rapid data, and we can then address the CISE Motronic system by pushing 0, 1, and entering that number by pushing the letter Q. In a few moments, the tester should respond. We can then push the arrow button to entering it by pushing the letter Q, and the fault memory will now be displayed. We can scroll through the fault memory by pushing the arrow button, and each successive fault will be displayed. The blue connector with the single wire terminal is used for testing the Motronic system using the blink code procedures. This is only necessary if you do not have the VAG 1551 tester. And because this tester is a minimum tool requirement, your dealer should have one, so we won't cover this here today. The same connector that is used to test the CISE Motronic system is also used to test the 4-speed automatic transmission. By attaching the white connector from the tester to this white connector in the center console, we can now test the automatic transmission using the Rapid Data Transmission mode. Select the Rapid Data Transfer mode by pressing the button 1. We can then address the automatic transmission control unit by pressing the buttons 0 and 2, and once again entering that number by pressing the Q button. In a few moments, the tester should respond. We can then push the arrow button and address the system's fault memory by pushing the buttons 0, 2, enter that by pushing the Q button, and any faults stored in the system's fault memory will be displayed. Another important function is the function 04, which is the introduction to the basic setting mode. This function should be done anytime the transmission control unit, throttle body, or throttle potentiometer are replaced. This resets the adaptive learning inside the control unit back to 0. If this isn't done, harsh transmission shifts could result. To reset the control unit's memory to its basic setting, press 04, then the Q button. Then, with the ignition on, depress the throttle all the way to its kickdown stop. The blue connector with 2 wire terminals is used for testing the ABS system. On some cars, this may appear as a gray connector. By attaching the white connector from the tester to this blue or gray connector, we can now test the system using the blink code procedure. Once again, the blue connector from the tester is not used. The procedure for testing the ABS system with the VAG 1551 is different from other systems. The ABS system can only be tested using the blink code format at the present time. Attach the white connector from the tester to the blue connector in the console. Don't turn on the ignition yet. First select blink code by pressing 2, then press the arrow button until the permanent ground exciter wire display is shown on the tester. Then turn the ignition on. The system's fault memory can now be tested using the blink code format. For more information on testing these systems with the VAG 1551, refer to the repair manual microfiche for the new Passat. The information can be found in Section D of the appropriate repair group. The next thing that we should look at is the automatic shoulder belt system. This automatically positions the front shoulder belts and is similar to the system used on the Corrado. The system consists of a motorized belt track that automatically puts the front shoulder belts in the correct position whenever the front doors are closed. The system is made operational when the ignition key is placed in the ignition switch. Each front shoulder belt is moved by a cable which is driven by an electric motor. The cable and motor are attached to a guide rail which is bolted to the body over the top of the front door opening. Each guide rail has two micro switches. These switches are on each end of the rails and are used to inform the control units that the belt is either in the forward or rearward position. A micro switch is located on top of each front door latch. This switch is used to inform the control units whether the doors are open or closed so that the shoulder belt can be moved forwards or rearwards. Two control units are used, one for each shoulder belt motor. The control units are located here under the rear seat. The control units receive power from this 10 amp fuse located here on the top of the fuse relay panel. A separate fuse is also attached to each control unit. These fuses supply power to the shoulder belt lock-release solenoids. A solenoid is located in each shoulder belt retractor. This solenoid releases the belt retractor whenever the seat adjustment lever is raised. Now, this is to allow the seat to be easily moved forward without the shoulder belt restricting your movement. The solenoid is activated by a switch which is here under the seat next to the release lever. The shoulder belt lock-release switch is attached to the seat rail. The switch closes whenever the seat release lever is pulled. The automatic shoulder belt system also has a motion sensor. This motion sensor prevents the shoulder belts from moving forward if a door opens during a severe collision. The motion sensor is located here under the right rear seat. The next system that we should look at is the air conditioning. Air conditioning is standard on the new Passat, and it's similar to that which is used on the Golf, Jetta, and Corrado. The refrigerant flow is regulated by this expansion valve, which is located here at the connections for the evaporator. The system uses a cycling AC compressor clutch. The clutch is controlled by this thermostatic switch, located here at the lower part of the evaporator. The thermostat is connected to the AC evaporator with a small capillary tube. If for any reason you have to remove the thermostat, be careful not to bend this capillary tube. If the tube gets bent or kinked, the AC thermostat will not operate properly. The AC system has several relays you need to be aware of. The AC relay, which is located in position number 1 of the relay panel, is a double relay which supplies the system with power. It also operates the radiator cooling fan on first speed when the AC is turned on. It receives vehicle voltage from this auxiliary fuse located above the fuse relay panel. Two AC relays are located in the engine compartment. The compressor clutch relay supplies the AC compressor clutch with power. It is located here in the engine compartment together with the second speed radiator fan relay. The second speed fan relay turns the radiator cooling fans on second speed whenever the refrigerant pressure exceeds approximately 16 bar or 230 psi. The second speed fan relay is activated by this pressure switch, which is located here on the high pressure refrigerant line leading to the evaporator. This switch will also turn the AC compressor off if the refrigerant pressure exceeds about 400 psi. If the AC pressure continues to rise, a safety plug in the bottom of the receiver dryer will release. If this happens, the receiver dryer will have to be replaced. There are two more relays located behind the center console. One is a double contact relay that supplies power to the fresh air recirculation flap solenoid and the AC clutch relay. The second relay is a kick-down relay for cars equipped with an automatic transmission. This relay is operated by the automatic transmission's control unit. Cars with manual transmission have a different relay here in this location. This relay delays the engagement of the AC compressor clutch for about 10 seconds after the car is first started. One other component that controls the operation of the AC compressor clutch is the ambient temperature switch. This switch opens at temperatures below approximately 45 degrees Fahrenheit and will interrupt the power to the AC clutch and fresh air flap relay behind the center console to prevent the AC system from operating in these cooler temperatures. The last components on the AC system that we should look at operate the fresh air flap. When the max AC button is depressed or the blower switch is turned to the off position, this fresh air flap will close and shut off the outside air supply. The flap is closed by a vacuum servo, which is located here on the right side of the evaporator assembly. The AC system will now recirculate interior air for maximum cooling. The vacuum supply for the fresh air flap is switched on and off by a solenoid, which is located here next to the battery. More information on the AC system's components, operation, and testing procedures can be found in Group 87 of the new Passat Repair Manual Microfiche. The last systems that we'll look at today are part of the Convenience Group option package. These systems include power windows, power door locks, electrically heated mirrors, and cruise control. The first system we'll look at is the cruise control. This system is the same that's installed as a factory option on other VWs. The system's control unit is located under the center console. It receives a vehicle speed signal from a hall sender which is located on back of the speedometer. The control unit operates this vacuum motor, which is located here next to the left front fender. This vacuum motor supplies a variable amount of vacuum to a servo which operates the throttle. The servo is attached to the accelerator pedal here at the pedal cluster. The distance between the servo and the accelerator pedal can be changed with this adjustment collar. This adjustment should be checked whenever any work is done to the throttle cable or accelerator pedal. The power door locks are the latest pneumatic type. A bi-pressure pump which operates this system is located in the left rear of the trunk on the sedan. On the wagon, it is located next to the spare tire. The pump is enclosed in a two-piece foam housing. It supplies both vacuum and air pressure to expand or contract servos which lock and unlock the doors. A vacuum servo is located in each door, the rear deck lid, and the fuel filler door. This servo should be in the locked position whenever it is removed or installed. This is done by turning this locking plate to this position. After the servo has been installed and the lock rod is fully inserted, the servo should be returned to the unlocked position. The system can be operated by turning the key to the unlocked or locked position. The door locks are activated by a switch which is located in each front door handle. The switch is not available separately and must be replaced together with the door handle. The switch is also used to control the automatic closing of the power windows. By holding the switch in the lock position, any windows that are left open will be closed in sequence, starting with the right rear going to the left front. This feature is controlled by the power window control unit, which is located here under the rear seat. The control unit supplies the power and ground to operate each power window. It also controls the automatic down function and retains the power supply to the windows after the key is shut off until either front door is opened. That finishes our introduction to the new Volkswagen Passat. As you can see, there are many new technical features that you need to be aware of to properly service these cars. Be sure to refer to the repair manual microfiche to make sure you have the correct information to fix the car right the first time and assure customer satisfaction.